Hi, Virginia.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
I'm good, thank
Good,
you.
good.
Thanks for being willing to talk to us about your experience in child welfare.
Absolutely.
Can you start by telling us what drew you into the field of social work?
Sure. So, actually, my undergraduate major was in communication studies. I did an internship at Paramount Studios in my senior year, and that's where I realized that although it was good experience, I didn't feel connected to the work. And so I started exploring other options. And incidentally, around the time I graduated, there was a recession, and I couldn't find a job anywhere. So I ended up working as a clerical position in a methadone clinic. And that's where I found my calling because although I was the bookkeeper, I had so many clients coming to me and sharing with me, building rapport with them, asking me if I could be their counselor. And that's when I realized that I had a calling for this work and I wanted to serve. So that's how I came into my MSW program.
I didn't know that about
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Can you tell us about your social work experience prior to coming to work at APU as the UCCF coordinator?
Sure. So I actually was a CalSWEC recipient myself. So upon graduating from my program, I went to work with LA County DCFS. I worked in the adoptions division and then moved over to the nonprofit and worked at Latino Family Institute. So it's a kinship foster care adoption agency and spent a big chunk of my career there. I was there for 16 years, started as a case carrying social worker, moved up to supervisor, and then the last 10 years I was a program manager. So lots of great experience there. Additionally, I still dabble in it. I'm a permanency planning mediator with Consortium for Children. So I work on creating post-adoption contact agreements to keep children connected to their birth families after they finalize an adoption. So I still dabble in it. I love the direct practice and working with the family. So yeah, I've spent my whole career in child welfare pretty much.
And what makes you so passionate about working in child welfare? I mean, I see that
Yeah.
every day in you, and specifically your passion for working with our UCCF students.
Well, I'm passionate about child welfare because on a personal level, I'm a consumer in that I'm an adoptive parent. So over 12 years ago, my husband and I adopted from the foster care system. And, of course, it's a blessing. We're a big family of 6 now. I live it and breathe it every day. Really learned a lot about the clinical issues in adoption, grief and loss, in any type of out-of-home care placement. And so I really feel connected to the work. When I worked at Latino Family Institute, I supervised students, over 25 MSW students from the various universities, and that was one of my favorite job duties was to work with them. And then, so when this job came up, it was right up my alley, having been a CalSWEC student myself, having worked with the department, all those years of working with students, it was just the logical next step, and I feel blessed because we're really preparing the next generation of child welfare workers. That is really our goal.
Well, you are a perfect fit for the
Oh,
job. I know that.
thank you.
So, can you now tell us about how the UCCF stipend program works that APU offers?
Sure, absolutely. So these are designated Title IV monies that are designated to the federally and then to the states, really with the intention of developing and preparing the child welfare workforce. And so APU receives 6 stipends annually. We partner with LA County Department of Children and Family Services. It's actually called the LA DCFS Internship Program, and we are awarded 6 stipends annually in the amount of $18,500. And that's for the 2-year full-time clinical concentration students are eligible to apply. So in each year they receive that stipend. It's a total of $37,000 for students. And it's wonderful in that they are in child welfare, both in the private setting at the community-based organizations in their foundation year, and then in their specialization, their second year, they intern with Department of Children and Family Services. So my students are out there shadowing emergency response workers, continuing services workers, so they're out there doing the work. So it's wonderful. So by the time they graduate, they have all of this rich experience, and they go to the academy, and they actually pay back their their stipend, not literally pay it back, but with their work commitment. So there's an expectation that they pay back the 2 years with at minimum of 2 years of work at the county. And of course, we hope that they'll go on and have long careers there. That is really the goal. We're trying to identify those students that are passionate about working with children and families.
Right.
So,
And that is paid, just to clarify, that's paid work
yeah,
at the
it's
county.
paid with amazing benefits and salary, and then and basically their commitment is to give the county at least 2 years. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's certainly a great opportunity.
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
is. And we offer the opportunity to our first year part-time students as well. They have the option of applying for the program in their first year for their second and third year. So what happens is they do their internship in their second year and receive the stipend. And then in their third year, they then transfer to the full-time cohort and have the full-time caseload and work their intern at the department in their third year. So it's a great opportunity for our existing first-year students as well.
Right. So just to clarify, you either have to be a 2-year full-time clinical student,
Right.
or you can enter as a part-time student and you would do the first 2 years of the program part-time, and then you would switch to full-time in the
Correct.
third year. So
Yes.
you're doing 2 consecutive internships.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I really hope that people are interested in applying. We're really trying to identify those students who have that calling to serve and really resilience, because it's not an easy, it can be challenging work, and so as we say, you have to have the grit, to really do the work. So we're looking for those students here at APU.
So in conclusion, what would you say makes a good child welfare social worker?
I think flexibility. There's not a day that I think you leave your job and think, I'm done, right? It's just a matter of really prioritizing and really connecting with families, engaging with families. Those families, and studies have shown that the best outcomes are when families are really connected to their workers, and they're engaged with their workers, and that really has a big impact on the outcome of cases. So that's really what we're trying to teach our students here and help them to engage families and be very responsive to the needs of the families. So, and that is part of what the county is training with the core practice model. I mean, it's really about teaming and engaging. And so we are blessed that the students are now entering into a workforce with DCFS where they have very elaborate trainings on the core practice model and how to engage. And it's amazing that I go to the trainings with the students and they're getting excellent training through the department, as well as here with our support at APU as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Now, if anybody wants to find out more information, could you just share how they could contact
Sure,
you?
absolutely. My email address is volivas, that's VOLIVAS, at apu.edu, and I'm on the website as well. If you go to the MSW website under tuition and aid, there's a whole description about the UCCF program, and it's the LEDCFS internship program. The application is online, and I host information meetings every year in January, February, and March. So I hope people look out for those and will attend those, and I look forward to meeting people and talking to them about this amazing opportunity.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.